You left the 9 to 5 to live free, but now you wake up tired, you scroll your phone first thing in the morning, you don't work out, and you eat like crap. This is not the freedom that you signed up for. In this video, I'm going to talk about 6 bad habits that silently kill your freedom as a digital nomad and how to fix them. Let's get into it. Hey guys, my name is David, and over the past 3 years, I've traveled to 35 plus countries. I've traveled for a long time, so over time, I had to develop ways to actually travel in a healthy and sustainable way. And as I've traveled, I have seen myself and others do a lot of bad habits when they travel. Number 1, scrolling your phone first thing in the morning or before going to bed. This looks harmless, but it's probably the worst thing that you can do to start your day. Quickly getting dopamine and you don't really give your brain a rest. So, you probably have felt it yourself. When you start your day with an hour of TikTok or Instagram, you're not gonna feel good and the day probably will not be the best. So what you should do instead? Well, ideally you wanna go for a walk outside, get some sunlight, just to get your body going. You also get a little physical activity in. As you're walking outside, you can listen to music, podcasts, or you can preview your day just to think about what you're planning for the day. And ideally, you wanna keep your phone on do not disturb or on flight mode. I do it myself for 20-30 minutes after waking up, just to give my body some time to wake up, my mind, and just not to get the dopamine the first thing in the morning. You can also read, you can also journal, stretch, do a workout. There's a lot of different things that you can do. But yeah, ideally, and I've seen it with a lot of people, they wake up and they start scrolling. That's not the way to go, and it's not really sustainable. It's not gonna help you feel better and travel in a good way. Number 2, and this is a very, very common one, sacrificing sleep. So a lot of people book, bad flights just to save some money, but by doing that, they sacrifice their sleep, or they go out and they have something the next day early, so they only sleep 4 or 5 hours. You can do this maybe for a few days, but long term, this is absolutely not sustainable and it's horrible for your body. Sleep is that one magic pill that really helps you reset your body and just get ready for the next day. And if you sacrifice your sleep, then you're gonna feel like crap. You do it for a few nights and you're just gonna feel like shit. So that's not the way to go. Of course, there is some exceptions. Sometimes it's just an amazing night and you just go out and you stay up late, and that's completely fine. And that should be part of your life. But if you're sacrificing your sleep all the time, you're not gonna feel good. And take the example, you're flying on vacation and to save $30-40, you're gonna fly overnight and you're gonna have to wake up at 3 and you're just gonna get 3 hours of sleep. You're gonna pack until the evening and you're gonna get to your vacation spot or to your next spot and you're just gonna feel like shit. It's not the best start of the vacation, right? So ideally, instead, you should plan that you can get a good sleep so you can feel rested when you're starting or when you're getting to the new place. Number 3, eating like crap. Sugary snacks, fast food, skipping meals, eating late, eating a lot. Again, it's not really gonna make you feel better. Yes, I understand it is harder to eat clean on the road or when you're in a different country, but there's definitely ways to do that. And again, you don't have to do it 100% of the time, and you shouldn't. You should have cheat days, you should enjoy the street food and eat, anything you want. But ideally, again, the 80-20 rule. You want 80% of the time, you want to eat clean, you want to eat the right things. 20% of the time, feel free, you can go for an exception. But if you eat like shit every single day, it's also going to get on your focus. So then the work that you do, it's going to be lower quality. And just overall, you're going to feel worse. And if you eat well and sleep well, I'm telling you, you're going to become much more productive and you're actually going to feel really good and enjoy the place where you're at. Number 4, no system. You have the freedom, but you feel all over the place, you feel disorganized, and you're kind of just winging it. So maybe you wake up, maybe you get some work, or maybe you don't, maybe you do some journaling every now and then, maybe you go explore, but there's not really any system. And yes, you might feel like I'm traveling and I'm being a digital nomad, I'm working from different countries and I don't want to have a rigid structure, and I understand that, and you shouldn't. Because we don't want to live like robots. We don't have our calendar planned, every 10 minutes what we're gonna do. But also, if you have a complete lack of structure, you're gonna feel free, but you're gonna be a prisoner of your own freedom. I have tried it myself. Eventually, after a few months of traveling, I inevitably had to create some routines to keep me grounded. And you travel, so it shouldn't be 10 or 20 different things. It should be just a few things that you can do anywhere that travel with you and that you can also do offline. So in my Nomad Focus Systems, you can get it for free in the description. I talk about the weekly reviews, the monthly reviews to always keep you on track no matter what's happening. about a simple morning routine, evening routine, about a daily tracker, how to use calendar, to-do list, and fleeting notes. Just simple, basic system that you can use anywhere, that travels with you, and that's low friction to commit to. Because that's often the problem with all the productivity courses and systems. It looks amazing and like it, everything is worked through and you get the streaks and all that, but it just, in a way, it's procrastination. It's really hard to stick to that. And when you travel, especially, you want to have a system that's low friction, that's easy to follow. Otherwise, you're not going to stick to it. We all know that. Number 5, not working out. I used to make the mistake at the beginning, the first 2 months when I started traveling. I just wanted to see places and I didn't really work out. And after some time, I could start feeling my body not so good. And me as an athlete, I've been playing tennis my whole life, so it wasn't the best decision. So after some time, I started working out, whether it's runs, whether it's workouts, going to the gym, playing tennis, paddle. I mean, the excuse that you cannot work out because it's hard to go to a gym or there's no equipment, it's just an excuse. If you want, you can get a good workout in anywhere without any equipment, just with your body weight. There's always something that you can do. But if you don't, again, with the lack of sleep, with bad nutrition, your body is just not going to feel 100%. So do not skip workouts when you travel. Yes, you should modify them and you can maybe do it less often, or maybe you do it in the morning for a shorter period of time. I mean, depends on what works for you, but do not skip your workouts. Your travel, your body, your health, it's not gonna say thank you for that. And the last one, working from bed. Yes, it might feel cozy and the room is small and it just like makes sense, right, to get the laptop and work from bed the whole day. Well, it's not ideal because first of all, you want to separate where you sleep and where you do other things and where you work. The posture isn't good when you're just laying in bed, and the focus, I mean, it can work for some hours, but after some time you're just not gonna be able to focus 100%, and you're probably gonna go nuts that you're in one place. Yes, again, this might work for someone this might work for an hour, for someone you can do it for a few days. But what I've seen and heard from people, it doesn't really work well, because after some time your productivity just goes down, you can really focus and you're just in one place, so then it's not even that enjoyable. Ideally, you want to find some cafes or some workspaces, or go outside, find a table, or even in your room, find a chair and table and just work there. Because again, working from your bed the whole day probably will not be ideal. So yes, when you travel, it is tempting to sleep less or not work out or to eat badly. But after some time, this is all going to compound and you're just going to feel bad. So if you avoid these habits, and again, we don't want to be too rigid about it, but if you do avoid them, or if you try to just do them a little better, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna be more productive, you're gonna, just overall, it's gonna be a better experience of your digital nomad life. And it is an amazing one, so we don't wanna not enjoy it just because we are doing some bad habits. And this is it for this video. So if you enjoyed these travel tips, subscribe. There's also links in the description. Feel free to check out my website or other social media, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.